Hello everybody and welcome to another 1/6 review. In today's video I'm taking a look at Saitama, the hero for fun, aka the One Punch Man. This is the Threezero store exclusive version. The box is minimalistic with Saitama on the rear. We have the kind of anime dash on the side here, and as always, Threezero give credit where credit's due. Saitama comes packaged in a dual tier plastic clamshell. The first consisting of the base figure with his alternative head, hands and accessories, and the second being the Threezero store exclusive set of trainers. We get the ungloved hands and we get his t-shirt, trousers from the show, along with a nice pair of sneakers. One Punch! Hero! I can't do it. That was terrible. Here he is out of his plastic prison. Oh man, he looks good. He looks fan-frickin-tastic. Belt comes detached. We have to put that on separately. It just wraps around his torso and buckles in the center, but he looks incredible. Such an amazing comic. Fantastic show. Apparently Madhouse aren't going to do the dub for season 2. I was gutted. Absolutely loved the dubbed version of season 1. The figure just really does capture all of the character. Before we delve deep into the figure itself, let's take a look at the accessories. We get the crab claws. You'll remember these from episode 1 of the animation, where he's thinking back 3 years prior when he defeated his first villain while saving the boy with the abnormally large chin. Attention to detail, Threezero, congratulations. I mean, this is even kind of a cellophane wrap on. That's awesome. We get his shopping bag for his favourite supermarket, which has a sale on Saturdays. And of course, let's not forget some more of his shopping to go in the bag. Remember, this just sits hanging out in the end sequences of the show as he's walking away. We can put the crabs in there as well. We get his little tiny, very manly clasp purse. put that in the bag as well, because he doesn't really sport any pockets, does he? We get a couple of replacement wrist pegs. We get the 2 clenched fists as standard. We get the 2 open palm hands. Again, nice detail on these gloved hands. Actually have a very rubbery feel to the gloves. Open shopping bag carrying and we get the kind of comedic face when you'll have the bad guys having a huge rant about how they're going to destroy the earth, and suddenly it will just pan to Saitama. He's like, it's raining. The toy itself has so much character. Just getting it in kind of this balanced stance here with the fists up, ready to fight. We've got the cape flapping in the wind. It looks like he means business. The cape itself is attached to the shoulders, and it has a rope all the way around the neck and out to both sides. So we can bring it out to the back, we can bring it down to the side. You can do pretty much whatever you want to do with it. A decent cape can add so much to a figure. Now taking a closer look, the front of the suit is actually completely for show. This zip is non-functioning. The actual zip we use to remove the outfit is located at the back, and the zip itself is actually hidden within the stitching, so it zips down from the inside, which I think is definitely a nice touch because it doesn't take away from the overall look of the figure. This is made of kind of a faux leathery rubber material. I can't see it degrading anytime soon. It's very similar to what we got with the 3A Dread, and not quite as thick. This one's designed to be a little bit thinner to allow more of the articulation to shine through. The boots are a two-piece system. These are separate feet which peg on, and this is a sleeve which goes over the bottom of the trousers, and the same goes with the fists and the gauntlets. They're also a two-piece system. Now you have to be careful when you display the hands, because if you don't quite tuck the gauntlets in, you can still see some of the yellow jumpsuit underneath the gauntlet. Now we know that the cape is articulated. Let's see how the figure fares up. I do love that face sculpt. You know you've trained hard when your hair falls out. You can look all the way up and all the way down. We kind of have this second skin on this joint. So all of the joint that does all of the business is hidden away nicely on the underside there. We can turn left and right. We can tilt quizzically to the side, coming around to the shoulders, come out. We can go forwards and we can go backwards. We do have some forwards and backwards motion on what feels like a butterfly joint. We get an upper bicep rotation. We get a nice double bend at the elbow. We get a rotation on that wrist. We get an abdominal crunch. We get left and right on the waist. We can tilt side to side, forwards and backwards. The back is limited somewhat by the cut of the buttocks. We can rotate in the thigh. We can get a fairly decent range on those knees, although that is hindered somewhat by the muscles of those thighs and the tightness of the clothing. We get a rotation on that knee. We get pivoting on the ankles, and we do get some forwards and backwards motion as well. So whilst he might not be the most dynamic of figures because of those suit and muscle restrictions, he's definitely one of the most realistic in his posing abilities. He's no more limited, in my opinion, than what the average man would be in his sort of situation wearing those clothes. Right, let's talk about the alternative hands. We get these ball joints that come as standard. Like I said, we do get additional pegs in the packet. We can just plug those hands on, and then these screw sections screw directly into the arm. Just make sure you don't catch the jumpsuit section, and just to push those in, and there we go. There we have one rather nice fetching glove. Now changing out SAITAMA's head again uses this double ball socket system. It's incredibly difficult to pull it out of this piece. It seems to grip a lot more in the neck piece of the head than it does actually on the neck itself. But to plug that back in, we just want to push this inside the new head using a little bit of brute force and ignorance. That's inside there, and then you can see the cup for the ball. That's just going to locate in the socket and push down. And here we have him walking home from the supermarket, still in his outfit, of course. Yeah, it's the little things like this which really make me smile. They didn't need to include stuff like this. I think people would have been happy with just a very good interpretation of the One Punch Man, but instead they go the distance and add these little tiny accessories like shopping bags. For those of you concerned about scale, SAITAMA stands from base of his foot to the top of his bald shiny head around 11.5 inches. That's about 30 centimeters, and weighs in at a more than adequate 260 grams. That's 9.17 ounces. Now before we get SAITAMA changed up, let's take a look at his additional clothes. We have some very nice weathered jeans. Got kind of that dirt and sandy material all over those. You've got a bit of a crease going on there. And we have some nice white stitching on the inside. We get his token sweater, again made out of a slightly elastic material, again slightly grubby and off-white. It's got the appearance that it's been washed a few times. And we have the signature logo on the front there, and we have his hood. We get his sneakers or baseball boots or trainers, whatever you want to call them, with the Threezero logo on the sole. Nice tread detailing there. And their laces have a black wash over them, and they are sculpted, and there we can see the socket for the ankle ball joint. With regards to hands, we only get one carrier bag carrying hand. This one's painted up in the flesh tone, not super detailed but very in keeping with his anime appearance. We get the two clenched fists, and we get two of the open palmed hands. Now, to get him changed up into his new set of clothes, let's start off by removing the fists. We can then remove the gauntlets. We can bring the zip down at the rear, making sure we don't catch any of this on the way down. You can pull this over his head, or you can remove the head. I can't see it getting damaged, but it's completely up to the owner. Then work these pieces down as we go. Let's just remove those feet. Again, remove the foot gauntlets, unclasp the belt, and then we can work this whole suit down, unzipping it fully and bringing it down over his tighty whities. There we go. There we have him in his kind of bland torso mode. Now, to my knowledge, this skin that they've got over the top of him is first for them. I haven't had a Threezero figure with this sort of build. We have the kind of muscle suit tights, which allow easy removal of the clothing, and as you can see, all of that awesome articulation that he boasts. Now, I'm sure you don't need me to teach you how to get your figures dressed. Let's check him out in his new uniform. And here we have him in his civvy clothes. That's an amazing look for him. It's literally drawn straight from the animation. Now, you know me, I'm more of a robot guy. I'm not the best at posing him, but I can assure you, once all of these ship out to everybody, there are going to be some amazing shots of this guy performing the most incredible of poses. He's basically limited to your imagination, and some of you have some pretty strange imaginations. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is something slightly different than to what you're used to, but I am a huge fan of the animation, so I couldn't really turn down a chance to get a hold of this guy. Not really sure how they could have done the figure any better. The clothing is pretty much spot on. It's got some really nice weathering. It's easy to remove and reapply. I think they've got his build down to a T. I mean, yes, he is ripped to high shreds, but when you look at him in the show, he is a slight build. He's not overly tall or broad. He is just a peak of physical fitness, and it's just this glaring expression. The whole, did I leave the oven on? Look, they've got it to a T. And of course, if being a hero for fun fails, he could always take up being a hero for hire. He's definitely got that kind of Luke Cage look about him, hasn't he, with the hood up. Anyway, I hope you've found this video useful. If you have, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. I've included a link in the description below which takes you through to the Threezero store, which is where you get this special edition with the alternative clothing. Until next time, from myself and SAITAMA, thanks for watching. Good.